Okay, guys, a quick video about Louis XIV and absolutism. What do you need to know? Okay, we're going to keep this really simple and really brief. First, when Louis was a little kid, there were some problems going down with the Fronde. And after that, Louis never trusted the nobles again. And on top of that, he had a chief minister, and his name was Mazarin. Whenever he got old enough and after Mazarin died, Louis said, "You know what? I'm never going to have anybody to rule except for me." You might remember his famous quote, "I am the state." Who else is in charge? Nobody. I'm the only person that's in charge. There's not going to be a state or a church that's going to get in my way. And to help do this, he said that he was given the right to rule by divine right. That's one of the common characteristics in all absolute monarchs. Who gives me the right to rule? God. If you got a problem with it, I guess take it up with him. So what did Louis do then? Well, he then made his famous Palace of Versailles. If you ever get a chance to go to Versailles, it's just 12 miles outside of Paris. From what I'm reading here, actually, I'm going to get to go soon. Yay! And it's 12 miles outside. During this time, 10,000 of Louis's nobles have lived at Versailles, and there was over 1,400 different garden fountains. I kind of think that's funny. How many fountains are even at our school? I wonder. I don't know. But Louis's palace was extraordinary and magnificent, but of course, it's going to cost a lot of money, and that's one of the reasons that his economy starts to go downhill rather quickly. By placing all of the nobles into Versailles, it helped keep them distracted. They came up with this idea known as etiquette. You probably heard of like table etiquette before, you mind your manners. Well, supposedly the way that this all started was whenever Louis first invited the nobles over, they completely trashed the place. And so they placed little signs, etiquette, all over the palace yards, signs like, please don't be on the grass, things like that. And the reason this is significant is because these people being the nobles, became distracted. Instead of worrying about matters of state, they had to worry, who is going to take this royal duty. So they started to getting really off kilter. Now, Louis, some of his friends, I guess, that you need to know is his chief financial minister named John Baptiste Colbert. Can you guess what economic system that John Baptiste Colbert used? That's right, mercantilism. And in mercantilism, that's wherever you're trying to bring all the gold and all the wealth back to the mother country. Underneath this system, Louis kind of set up different places wherever he had control over territories in India, Africa, and the most important one, New France. We know that as Quebec. That's why if you still go to Quebec today, most of them speak French. And the company that he used to compete with the Dutch, that was called the French East India Company. Another significant thing that you need to know is you remember the Edict of Nantes, Paris is worth the mass kind of thing. All that goes away after Louis XIV comes. He wants one ruler, one faith, and that faith is Catholicism. In kicking out all the Huguenots, the French Calvinists out of the country, Louis effectively loses some skilled workers, and he also places that members of the Huguenots who used to be French now into territories like England, who could be an enemy of his. And speaking of enemies, Louis certainly had his fair share of wars, but the two that I would recommend that is first the War of Spanish Succession, which is a war about the balance of power, wherever Philip of Anjou got put on the French or the Spanish throne. Of course, how that all played out. They're trying not to essentially create a spat, Spain and France together. And the other thing that you need to know as far as war goes, if you can just remember William and Orange and Louis XIV had a series of battles against each other's countries. And at the end, it just kind of hurt the French economy. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure that you check out the review and check out the other videos. See you later.